Greetings to Springs Nation parents. I wanted to take a moment today to discuss the issue every parent has at the top of their minds right now. When are we going to get back into our classrooms? As you may know, the CDC published some revised guidelines last week. These guidelines are actually very similar to the CDC guidelines that we've been using to keep our kids safe and healthy for several years. These guidelines are written by medical professionals and they help inform us as educators. However, we will be determining the feasibility of implementing the various strategies that are being discussed. Springs Charter Schools were founded on the idea of flexibility, which we are still strong believers of, and we believe it's parents' right to choose the best educational model for their children. We allow for a wide variety of options, from 5 days per week at home with a visiting teacher once a month, to 5 days in the classroom models and everything in between. Now with the pandemic, we are going to be even more flexible. We understand that some of our 5-day in the classroom families might not want to send their kids to school for some time, and others need school to reopen as quickly as possible. We are working diligently to understand the guidelines and recommendations from all of our local authorities, and we are waiting for the okay from the governor to restart our classroom-based programs. Before we get into the scenarios of returning to the classroom next year, I want to make sure that you understand that we are committed to you, our existing enrolled families, and we want to keep you enrolled in our programs. These are unprecedented times, and we are modifying all of our site programs to allow for distance learning for the 20 to 21 school year. We will be providing a robust and high-quality distance learning program with as many bells and whistles as we can, according to the state's health mandates. The benefits of staying with your program is that we hold your child's space in that school location. And once it opens up without restriction, your child can go right back in. But even right now, or even as we open up in the various scenarios, you can make a daily or weekly choice of whether you're going to allow your child to come into our classrooms or not, based on your assessment of the risk factors. Springs is very adept at providing the platform for students to do distance learning and the training for teachers to make it work. So we are confident that you'll be happy staying with your program, even if you're choosing distance learning for the entire year and your program is a 5-day-a-week. So if you do the distance learning within your own academy program, you can do the distance learning even when school is back in session, because we are flexible. We have opportunities for students who do distance learning to participate in the program in a more informal way, like maybe electives, field trips, expos and presentations, and productions. But while we are on hold, I can tell you a few things that we're considering. First of all, there are a few solutions our leadership team really will not agree to do. Number one, we believe that it's very uncomfortable to wear a mask for a long period of time, which will interfere with a happy learning environment in our classrooms. For this reason, we really will not support a solution that requires students to wear masks all day long. Now, any staff member or student who wants to wear a mask will, of course, be welcome to do so. Another solution we can't agree to is a plan that requires all students to remain separated by at least a 6-foot distance. This separation would be impossible for our teachers to enforce. We can't set our teachers up for failure all day long, nor do we ever want to promise our parents something that we can't deliver. If the adult shoppers at Home Depot next to me can't stay 6 feet away from me, we can't expect our kids to do it, right? And 3, we will only come back into the classroom when the restrictions are not completely unreasonable for students. So some ideas that have been recommended, like keeping students in their seats all day, or having the teacher teaching behind a clear plastic curtain, these do not seem like reasonable ways to come back to school. We believe in empowering students and providing a flexible workspace for their school day. We can't do that if they're not allowed to move. So here are some of the health and safety measures that are acceptable to us. 1, increased temperature taking. 2, health screenings at the front door. 3, increasing hand washing and doing hourly cleaning at the door handles and common surfaces. 4, more thorough and aggressive cleaning each night. 5, reduced playground access. And 6, student materials and personal items like pencils, crayons, and scissors just kept for that student. So those are all acceptable, and I think that we would all agree that that's not an unreasonable burden to put on the children. In terms of getting together a set of solutions, we have a few very draft plans, just so that you know, so that I'm keeping you informed. One is the social bubble plan. This is a reasonable compromise. Our kids attend school using the program's usual schedule, but they stay within their bubble only. They have no access or very limited access to any groups of people outside the classroom. They play with their class and they eat with their class. And we employ greater health and hygiene requirements. We don't plan assemblies or multi-class events for the time being. If there is a case of exposure to the virus, then the entire class will be required to pivot to distance learning for a period of time to ensure that their exposure is reduced. That's one option. Another option is a small social bubble plan. This plan limits exposure even more than the regular social bubble plan, while still keeping a happy classroom atmosphere. Kids attend just half of the school days of their regular program with half of the class. There's a cohort A and a cohort B, and they stay with that cohort only until that we are allowed to come together in the larger group again. Increased health and hygiene requirements are employed, no assemblies, multi-class events, etc. And the entire class will be quarantined for a period of time if there is an exposure. A third option is the staggered weeks small social bubble. Kids in cohort A of a smaller cohort, so half the class, come to school with their regular schedule for a week, and then they do distance learning for a week while cohort B attends class. The weekend will provide time for any live virus to be cleaned away and or die. This week of distance learning provides time to gauge symptoms as well. So those are 3 plans we're considering. Currently, though, we are asking our teachers to plan for distance learning for the first quarter across all of our programs. And I want to make sure that I commit to you that everybody who needs a device, every child who needs a device to do their work, will be provided one. We're going to reevaluate the plan for the classrooms as the health department lifts restrictions. I know that this talk today, this update today, has not provided you with any specifics, but I hope it's providing you with some reassurance that we are actually participating in that process and we are creating plans A, B, and C for your children to get back to the learning that they love, to the teachers that they love, and to the whole environment that Springs has fostered and continues to foster every single day. We're proud of our teachers. They have done an amazing job this spring through thick and through thin while homeschooling their own children at the same time that they are schooling yours. And you've all been amazing and risen to the occasion so well. We're just very proud of you all, and we're looking forward to better times ahead, and I will keep you posted as we know more. Thank you.